Everybody, and welcome to the November Q&A video. It's like 6:30 at night here for me, so I gotta get up early in the morning. So I'm kind of recording this kind of late, or actually a little earlier than I normally do, but a little later than I usually want to, or a little later than I wanted to. I actually had a plan to do this earlier in the day, but I kind of fell asleep. So, uh, that's my own fault. But anyway, I have 19 questions this month. Thank you all for submitting your questions, and I've been saying this a lot ever since all the stuff that happened back in October and earlier this month. Thank you all so much for subscribing, for your comments, your thoughts, your concerns. Thank you all so much. Things are, I like to say, improving, but let's face it, I'd be lying if I said they were. I would be lying through my teeth. So, things are kind of improving, but they're not exactly improving. If that makes any sense at all, let me adjust this just a hair. Okay, there we go. If that makes any sense at all, they're improving, but they're not. Like one step backwards, or 5 steps backwards for every 1 step forward, basically, is what it feels like right now. But still, a little higher. I don't like that. Oh, there we go. Okay, but anyway, let's get into the Q&A video. That's why you're here. You're not here to listen to me bitch about my own life. I have other things I can do for that. But anyway, let's get into the Q&A if we can here. So, first question. Out of Nick, CN, and Disney, which out is the most likely to go bankrupt? Honestly, I'd probably go with it's going to be a three-way tie. I'm not even going to lie. Disney's going to be stretching themselves out kind of thin, as they have Star Wars, they have Marvel, they have National Geographic with Fox. But with Disney, it's mostly they're banking on all their movies, their streaming service, and their other shit to kind of, carry their asses throughout the most part. For Cartoon Network, they're already kind of showing their age. They're showing their stress limits. And with Cartoon Network, with CN, with Adult Swim's royally screwing up everything. You have Toonami that's getting its ass handed to it, courtesy of their lousy production. They're liable to just basically run themselves right into the grave of money. And Nickelodeon is just purely tripling down at this point on the yellow bastard from hell. So, like I said, it's a three-way tie. If at best it'll be probably Nickelodeon, Cartoon Network first. I would have no idea which one would come in first on that one, to be honest with you. But Disney would be a real close second, or third, real close third, if for whichever one of the two doesn't go out first. But yeah, that's my guess, so to speak. Are there any moments in SpongeBob that you found funny? If not, then what was your least favorite episode from the show? There is one joke that I did find funny. It was the episode when they were playing the Flying Dutchman's Treasure Hunt. A really shitty game that I guess SpongeBob and Patrick had got. They were playing it to Krusty Krab. And Mr. Krabs kind of took it as you guys have this game. And he's like really excited because it's like real gold treasure. Well, it's fake treasure. It's like it's based off of a real pirates map. And he's like, oh, I found a pirates map. I found, a treasure map. We're going to go find treasure. And then all of a sudden he has Patrick doing the compass. And it's like, well, X amount of paces east. He goes, oh, east? Or west. He goes, oh, I thought you meant west. West. What type of compass you reading, lad? This one. That's west, Patrick. You're fired again. I kind of like the west joke in that because my mom and I was able to use it and it was really funny. My mom and I took a trip to New Jersey a few years ago. It's kind of hard to remember when. It was like years ago we took a trip to New Jersey. The one summer, because I got sunburned really bad on my arms, and it was kind of horrible. It was actually kind of bad because it started peeling off like a couple weeks later. But we took a trip to New Jersey. We're going over there. She's like, well, we have to make sure that we stay on the east signs. We had to make sure we were following the east road signs. And I'm like, okay, well, I see west. She's like, what the hell is west? I'm like, well, we're going west. And I explained the joke to her. She goes, I like that. And it was, yeah, that was the one joke that I did like. But I can actually say, least favorite episode, fucking all of them. Minus, I mean, I like the very first Christmas to me because I like the song in that. I like the song from Greasy Spool. I don't like the episode, but I like the song. And the one joke, the Weiss joke. That is literally the three jokes, or the three things that I actually. I like the two songs and one joke. That's it. Out of a show that has lasted for what now? 13 seasons, 20 some years. That is literally the only three things that I can actually say that I enjoyed, and that was in the early seasons. So what does that tell you? I'm not a fan of SpongeBob. I'm really not. I'm not a huge fan. I'm not a huge fan of SpongeBob. I hate SpongeBob. I really do. What's your okay? It's very. What's your least or your favorite and least Pokemon? Okay, so I guess that means what's my favorite Pokemon and my least favorite Pokemon. I'm assuming. Favorite Pokemon? You really have to ask that question. I am a nutcase for anything Pikachu related. If it's Pikachu, I have it in droves. I got it here. Hold on. See? A little Pikachu buddy here. I got a giant Pikachu pillow. I got a big Pikachu plushie. I just recently picked up, because we had one at work, a Pikachu Christmas tree ornament. Because I'm like, oh, this is really cool. And I got one like years ago from my one cousin. It's the fat Pikachu. But this one's like the more skinnier one. I'm like, oh, I really like this. Oh, it's $5. What the hell? It's like we didn't have that many of them left anyway. So I'm like, I want to get this while we still have it. Pikachu's my all-time favorite. I hate the fact that it keeps getting slack for being one of the worst in the Pokemon game because it's easily taken out. It's the same thing for a lot of it, but it depends on what moves you teach it and how you go about it. You could actually make it work. But there are just people that don't want to do that. They don't want to take the time and effort to train it. But for me, in the game, Pikachu was my favorite. It's like I treat all my Pokemon in my game like, hey, look, you're to other people, you're bits of data. To me, you're, alive inside the game, to me, basically. But, Pikachu's my all-time favorite. Number one, hands down. Like, my top 10, I got, like, Pikachu's definitely number one. And then the rest of them sort of, like, fluctuate, but I have a kind of steady, at least top 5, so there isn't too bad. I mean, it's Pikachu, then Charizard, Selgor, Latias, because I actually got a Latias little figurine here because I liked Latias. I thought that was pretty cool. It's one of the first legendaries I ever caught because I caught it in Sapphire. And Manaphy, because I stood in line at that Toys R Us event for Manaphy. I will not lie. I stood in line for that. I stood in freaking line for that. I was there with all the kids and the nerds. I had to pretend that I was a parent going there to get it for my kid because I was getting weird looks from the employees, and they're looking at me like, why is a grown man here? And I was like in freaking tech school at the time, and they're like, well, there's a grown man standing with a bunch of teenagers. I mean, there was a guy that was like maybe, I want to say, like maybe 3 years younger than me, maybe. And at the time, I would have said at least 18. I would have been like 19 at the time, so I'm assuming he was like 17, 18, give or take, maybe 16 at the youngest age. Or maybe just slightly older than me, by like maybe a year or two. And he's standing there, and it's like, oh yeah, not a problem. Yeah, he's there for it. I'm like, okay. And he looked like a freaking adult. He looked like a 30-year-old, like he's like living in his parents' basement, stuff like that. But for me, it's like, this is a grown man there, and I'm just, the one employee's kind of like looking at me. I'm like, this is my son's birthday present. This is my kid's birthday present. It's like, I'm here getting this. Yeah, I said, son. I said, I'm here getting this. His mom's taking him somewhere else for the day. This is going to be his surprise when he gets home. Dad got a Manaphy. And she's just looking at me like, oh, okay. She didn't even bother to look to see that I wasn't wearing a fucking wedding ring either. That was the best part. I'm like, I'm not gonna tell her I'm here to get this for myself. I mean, a bunch of people here already going crazy. The Toys R Us staff was already going nuts with the, oh well, here, let's do some trading while we're standing in line, and they were getting a little pissed off at that. And I'm like, yeah, no, I'm here for I'm here for this. But yeah, like my top five, definitely Pikachu's number one, Charizard, Celeborn, Latias, and Manaphy are my top five. But Pikachu's always number one for me. Because when they announced that it was rumored Pikachu might be evolving in the Raichu and Journeys, I was all set to do a rant video if that was going to happen. I would have been letting loose a storm of epic proportions, the likes of which this world would have never seen and would have never recovered from. I would have basically lost my goddamn marbles, and that would have been it. I would have basically let loose the storm of hell upon everybody. There's a Doctor Who episode where he was taking on, I forget what her character was, but he was taking her on. So this was Peter Capaldi era, and he goes, because Clara was in danger, and he's telling the other character, he's like, I can't fix this, but you can fix it, and you will, or this street will come to an end. I'll bring Unit, I'll bring the Zygots, I'll bring the Cybermen. Wait, give me a minute. I'll bring the Daleks. I will rain hell upon you to the end of time. If Pikachu would have evolved, I would have been raining hell in a rant video that would have lasted till the end of time. I don't think there would have been. That would have been it. I would have been the rant to end all rants. But happily, they didn't evolve Pikachu. I actually watched that episode. They didn't evolve Pikachu, so I was really happy. I'm like, oh, thank God they didn't evolve it. They didn't evolve my little buddy. I like Pikachu. It's mostly, he's my favorite because he's bright yellow. It's one that I can easily distinguish the color on. Plus, I think he's cute as hell. I mean, he's Electric Mouse. I mean, come on. Electricity. I'm a tech guy. Free power. All I gotta do is just give Pikachu an apple, and if we have no electricity, hey, Pikachu, charge my phone up for me for a couple seconds, would you? I mean, that's how it works. Yeah, but least favorite, though, my least favorite Pokemon. That's actually an easy one for me, anyway. My least favorite would be Rattata. I don't like it. I actually have a few other ones that definitely can take the title of least favorite Pokemon for me, but Rattata is definitely up there. I mean, it's a normal type. It pisses me off. It's everywhere in the freaking starting points. You can catch that thing till you're blue in the goddamn face. I was helping my one friend because she was doing that Pokemon Go, and everywhere I'd walk, that's all I would fucking find was Rattata everywhere. And I kind of nicknamed it. The one time I caught one, I'm holding her phone, and I'm like, Rattata, the dime a dozen Pokemon. Found every fucking place you walk in this goddamn town. And I'm just like losing my goddamn mind. But I'm not a fan of Rattata. I actually do hate Rattata with a passion. It's one of my least favorites. Raticate definitely is another one, but since Rattata evolves into it, there's that. But if we want to get into like the Alolan forms and stuff like that, it just gets worse. The Galarian forms just are god awful at this point. Don't get me started on Gigantamax and Dynamax. That fucking bullshit. I'm going off of like the original up to my generation that I ended on, which was Black and White's generation, which would be, let's see here, Gen 1, Gen 2 was Johto, Gen 3 was Hoenn, Gen 4 was Sinnoh, Gen 5. Is it Gen 5? Yeah, Gen 5. Gen 5 was where I ended. That was my last generation, so I'm only going to go up to there. But if we want to go like ones beyond there, we got evolutions. The list can easily change, but up to Gen 5, my least favorite's Rattata. It really is. I mean, it's fine, it's nice, it's adorable. Youngster Joey can use that thing till he's fucking blue in the face. I don't care. But no, I don't like. I don't like Rattata. I really don't. Let's see here. Would you rather have the school system where it's 8 to 3 Monday through Friday, or 7 to 6 Monday through Thursday, and why? Personally, neither. I think, in all honesty, I'm going to be 100% honest here. I hated the fact that I had to go to school to begin with. I hated school with a passion. You all know this. I've ranted about school. I ranted about the start time of school. I've ranted about um, a lot of stuff. I know I have a rant that I don't even think I put out yet. How much I hated elementary school. I want to do one for elementary, middle, and high school, and even one for tech school. The tech school one's going to be fun though. That's going to be the one where I'm going to lose my cool, provided I get a chance to do that. But I would rather the kids not have to start so damn early. But if you think about it, school is a 6-hour prison. It is literally a 6-hour prison. It doesn't matter how many hours you set it up. The school system, at least that I'm aware of for my state, has to go 180 days. They have to, unless there are a few instances where you don't have to. And I can explain this from example. We had a tropical storm that came through the one time, knocked out power, took down trees, power lines, and we had the day off because the roads were impassable in some parts, power was out all over the place, we couldn't go to school. So because at the time the governor for my state had declared state of emergency for us, we didn't have to make up that day. That was basically a wash because it was outside of our control. It was outside of the district's control. They had no say in it. So we didn't have to make it up. It was a wash. But snow days and that you have to make up. And if they can't make it up during the school year, like, oh, well, you can't, do this and that, then you basically, I'm really hating to say it this way, but the problem is they tack it on at the end of the year. Because when I was in first grade, that happened. The blizzard of '96 kind of rolled through, and I was out of school for almost I think it was like a week. I was almost out of school. Because I remember watching Short Circuit 2 so many times, my mom got tired of watching. I'm like, I want to watch the robot movie, and she got pissed. So it annoyed her, but I was out of school for like a good week. It was hell on earth. We were in school till at least Father's Day, then almost like the middle of June, almost near the end of June, because we had to make up the snow days that we got because there was just too many of them. They had to tack them on to the end of the year, and they have to do that. So it doesn't matter when we start the school system because there's X amount of days that they have to go. So if we have it that they have to go from this time to this time, they still have to go X amount of days. It doesn't matter if you only have them go 4 days a week or not. They still have to go X amount of days a year. It's a requirement. I don't know what it is for each. I don't know if it's like a flat one or if it's different between states. I'm not sure. I don't know, nor do I care. It's one of those things that it doesn't bother me. What bugs me is the start times. But in all honesty, I kind of feel like, especially with how we've made advancements, especially this year. I was just thinking about that this morning because I'd watched a Shark Tank not last Saturday, but the Saturday before, and Kevin O'Leary had made a comment that we've really come and advanced like 5 years worth of technology in the span of a few months. I kind of think he was being a little generous with that, a little under generous, I should say. I kind of feel like we've advanced like a good 10 years almost in the span of like 6-7 months. We've basically expanded 10 years. We basically jumped 10 years ahead of what we should have been. I am a huge fan of, let the kids stay freaking home and teach them from there. Because you take a lot of problems out of the equation. And a lot of people were complaining because, the teachers have to go to school. The teachers have to do this. They want to do this swapping of, X amount of students go this day, then X amount of students go this way, to go this day, and the ones that were there the day before have to learn from home. The thing is, you can have the teachers go and use the classrooms as quote-unquote their teaching area. They can set it up to go, hey, look, I have to teach you science, I have to teach you math, I have to teach you English. They can set up the room to fit that because there won't be any students there. A lot of people are like, well, how are they going to take attendance, this and that? Okay, they're not logged into the system, they're not there. They better have a damn good excuse. If not, they're getting marked as absent or cutting class. It's that simple. But it's just one of those systems that is still being fine-tuned and worked out. But at the same time, it is improved. But as far as either of those times are concerned, neither, to be honest with you. I hated having to be up at, well, I got up at 6 o'clock regardless, even in elementary school, but starting at any time before 9 o'clock in the morning, you're not getting anything done, especially as you get older. I can tell you beyond a doubt, the only thing I remember from my first couple periods in the day, uh, I had economics the one year in high school. I remember watching the video on the first McDonald's in I think it was Red Square over in Russia. I remember that because we were getting out early that day because of snow, because I had to call my mom then to come pick me up, and that's it. I could not tell you a damn thing I learned in economics, besides the formula, the math formula that our teacher taught us to figure out how much gas we're going to get, or how many gallons of gas we get, an estimate, and the McDonald's thing. That's it. That is literally all I remember. And the stock project we had to do. That was it. Second period, depending on the year, would have been either Principles of Technology, which is what I had my final year in school. I was half asleep for most of my classes until at least 9 o'clock in the morning because your body just cannot wake up. That's how it is. Your body is not designed to do that. And there are people that now, when you become an adult, and big spoiler here for those of you out there thinking that being an adult is easy, it's fucking not. Being an adult's a pain in the ass. But for adults, they have to get up super early in the morning. Like me, I got to get up at 1:30 in the morning so I can be at work by 3, and then work, till my shift's done. And it's just going to get worse and worse as you get older. But as far as a school start time, both of them suck. I honestly feel like the teachers should just record their lesson, put it up for the kids. The kids have to log in to prove that they were there. They have to sit through the lesson. Basically how YouTube does its ad thing, like you cannot click off this thing. If you do, it registers that you weren't here, and just have it that they can't click off of the video. And if they do, it registers that they left and they cut class. And just have the teachers record the stuff for like a whole week's worth of recordings. Problem solved, or at least temporarily anyway. Any follow-up questions they can ask in the form of comments. Make it like a premiere thing that the teacher's there answering their questions in the comments section. Problem solved. As far as I'm concerned, that is literally your problem solved right there in a nutshell. And that avoids the whole time starting thing, because they can literally just, okay, well, this one's got to be premiered, and it's like, I can't make it at this time because I have a doctor's appointment. I can catch it, because I have all the videos up for like a week. Then at the end of the week, the next set of videos go up and the old videos come down, and just do that. It avoids the start time. You can stagger, like, okay, this person has to, can't be up this early, or they're still getting their stuff done. If they have a question, they can be there for the premiere, or they can just log in when it's convenient for them, but they'll still have to log in. There's a system for it, but neither of those really work. So my answer to their question is both of them suck, and I gave the long ass explanation of why. So there's the explanation. Sorry, I had to get a drink of water there. Yeah, Deer Park. Sorry, my Dr. Pepper I only have is a 2-liter, and it's down in the fridge. Okay, have you ever come up with a plan for a series about reviewing other YouTubers yet? Yes. Not going to divulge anything about it because of everything that's going on with me vis-a-vis real life right now, but I am working on it. Just be patient, and remember, anything that I had a hand in will not be reviewed. Hint, hint. But yeah, I am working on it. It's just one of the things that I have to, that it's on the back burner. It's on like a low simmer, because if I have to take it off, I can't do it. Then it's just shut off the fire. That's all. So I am working on it. It's just a matter of dealing with all this other shit in real life right now, and that's what's kicking my ass. Are you familiar with the YouTube show entitled Movie Night? No, never heard of it. I'm being honest, I've never heard of it. So, no. Let's see. If streaming services and YouTube basically serve as the newest mainstream TV networks, then what would be the new YouTube? What would be the new streaming services? And how would you see the Emmy Awards going forward? Well, the Emmy Awards suck, so I could care less how they go. Um, YouTube isn't basically the new mainstream TV. Pluto kind of is that. And there are other streaming services that do like a live cable thing. But Pluto is the one that's sort of pretty much streaming TV. That's literally that. And even Apple TV kind of does the same thing in a way. I think the last I had heard, but yeah, no. YouTube's still YouTube because you can pull up your own videos and stuff like that. It's just stuff that's created by other people. So YouTube's still YouTube. As far as like other streaming services, it's just what they are. TV's dead. I've been saying it for so damn long. TV's dead. It's just too dumb to fall over and realize that it's dead. But as far as what the new YouTube is technically still YouTube. You just have like the YouTube streaming portion. But I kind of think YouTube's a better thing because a lot of channels are doing premieres for YouTube videos because I watch Ultraman Z on a Saturday and it premieres on a Friday night. There's like a whole bunch of stuff that particular channel is a Tokusatsu channel. I think it's Shibuya, I think. I'd have to check Shibuya Productions, I think. But they do like a lot of their stuff. They premiere it like early in the morning because that's when it would premiere overseas. But now you can't access all of it though, and that's the other issue. And before somebody says it, no, VPNs don't always work no matter what the YouTubers pitching it will say, because there are a lot of countries and there are a lot of services like streaming services and that have found ways to block the main selling point that a lot of people jumped on for VPNs, like I can watch this UK show here in my living room in South Dakota, and no, there are some that are blocking that because they found out how they're doing it, and they took the effort to stop it because they don't want their stuff to be shown to certain people, and by God, their stuff won't be shown to certain people. That's the way that they roll. That's how they're going to play this game. But yeah, the Emmy Awards can just blow me. I never liked them. I don't like any of the award shows. They're all fake to begin with. Well, technically they are. The Oscars are 100% bullshit. It's basically the awards are bought wholeheartedly. Nobody ever actually wins it. Reality TV's faked. The Emmy Awards are a freaking joke. So, I mean, all the award shows are rigged. They seriously are. Because if you actually sit down and think about it, what moron is voting for movie A here that royally sucked ass, and movie B that was actually good, had a decent plot, and sold a shit ton more tickets, doesn't even make it past the nomination round because movie A is suddenly the big, ass buster of the year. And it's bull. Video game awards are about the only good thing. I mean, fan-made ones like that, low-grade ones like the VGAs, the Video Game Awards, the Anime Awards that I think Crunchyroll was doing, those are more fan-driven than they are professional-driven. So those kind of work out as an actual award show. But as far as the actual like award shows go, no, they're freaking rigged. They all are. But yeah, as far as YouTube isn't really mainstream TV, but it's sort of like the hub, I guess you want to call. Like, here's the central hub. It's not like here's mainstream TV, here's the hub, and here's where TV was. So this is like mainstream web TV, regular TV, and the hub. This is where YouTube kind of lies. This up here would be streaming services that have constant different programming every day, set at different times. Basically, just imagine like if cable was just on the computer and not, coming into your house via a coaxial cable connected to the back of your TV. Or an HDMI cable connected to a box, connected to a coaxial cable, connected to your wall, going in a line to the cable company for them to pump that stuff into you for like $80 a month. With a whole shit ton of sports channels. That's basically what it is. So, yeah. That's my answer. What do you think about various stores getting the Christmas stuff out about 3 months ahead of time? I work in retail. Okay, we get the Christmas shit in like fucking October. Occasionally they'll come in September, and we have to sit on it, and that takes room and space. It's a pain in the fucking ass. I'm not gonna lie. I hate putting the Christmas stuff out, to be honest with you, because it's the same shit. We get gingerbread houses, wrapping paper, wreaths, ornaments, garland, tinsel, frickin' little trees, small metal houses, trains, candy out my fucking asshole. I feel like the fucking candy pirates and the kids next door. Freaking Blackbeard or what the hell is his licorice beard or something? Or Sweet Beard? I don't even remember what the hell his name was, but you know which one I'm talking about. The one that number 5 kept going up against all the time. Uh, Her and him teamed up to take on the licorice pirates. So that's the one I'm talking about, where they pulled the Pirates of the Caribbean bullshit. That's that one. Um, this year though they're trying to do it because they wanted to try to not have people out in December. I understand that because it makes sense from a standpoint. I know people out there are going to disagree, and remember, I'm just saying how I see it. That's all it is. Um, but yeah, as far as I'm concerned, the stores will get the stuff early because then that way they have it for when they have to put it on the shelf. So you're going to get it in September. That way you have a decent chunk of it to start off when you have to make the set. Like if your set's going to be like a whole 30% of your store, then you're going to start getting the stuff in September because then you have to sit on it until you get permission to start the set. Once you can start the set, then that means that you have to take down whatever's there, put it into the last chance clearance section or pack it away, and then put up the next set so that it's all set and ready to go, because then you should hopefully have everything to start off said set. It just doesn't work that way. It's one of those that looks good on paper, but in reality, it doesn't work that way, and it never will. And I mean, that's just the way it is. And sorry, like I said, I'm really thirsty today. So, Deer Park did not sponsor this video, but I buy their water because I do like it, and my water's really hard. We have like a 6 or 7, I think, on the acidity scale. If I remember, like a 5, it's either a 5, 6, or 7. No, 5 or 6. I remember talking to the pump guy. 5 or 6, I think he said. But yeah, they're gonna get stuff months ahead of time. You'll get it in September because then that way you'll have it for when the set has to start for your seasonal crap, which is usually at the start of November, because October's Halloween. Halloween ends right when Halloween ends. You have to put that crap right into like your clearance section, your discount bins, shit like that. And then you gotta push Christmas till hell freezes over. And usually that's about the week before Christmas is when hell freezes over. So, yeah. Let's see here. Based on what has happened in 2020 and everything that you have talked about on your channel so far, what do you think actually happened at the end of the 2020s? So in other words, you're asking, what do I think would actually happen at the end of this decade? I haven't got the foggiest clue, to be honest with you. Based off of everything, I mean, stuff can happen from year to year. Stuff can change from year to year. Every single moment is in constant flux. A prime example of this, there was a character in World Trigger. His name was Jin. He was, at the start of the series, he was the only other Black Trigger user aside from our main character, or the main character from the other dimension. I think, what was his name? Koya? I can't remember his name off the top of my head right now. I have it written down, but I can't remember it. But he basically was the main head. He was basically the strongest character, basically, because he had the Black Trigger for our world. And he was like, he's the strongest there is, or at least out of his little thing, he's one of the strongest there is. But his little thing is he had, I think it was called a side effect or sidekick or something, that he could see into the future. But as he had explained it, the future kind of branches off into multiple directions. So like, and it's a prime example. It is actually a good one. If you've ever stood on a tree, like here's the tree, here's you, and you stood like this, where your torso is against the trunk of the tree, and your head is clearly looking straight up at the sky, keeping the trunk of the tree at the bottom horizon here, and you're looking here. That's a prime example of what he's talking about, because it branches off into multiple pathways. That's what time is. So anything can technically happen, because all of a sudden something could just change, just like that. One little ripple in the pool, and all of a sudden, boom, you have a totally different branch that now you have no idea where that branch is going to lead to. That branch could go straight up. It could intersect with another branch that could end up coming back down. It could go up high. You don't know. So, based off of everything that's happened this year, I haven't even got a foggiest idea of what in the hell is going to happen next. I mean, we could get invaded by the Vulcans. The fucking Klingons could come and take over the world. We could end up creating Skynet, for all I fucking know. I mean, I can try to predict the future if you want, but it's not going to be very accurate come, like, maybe 6 or 7 months into the future. It's not going to be very accurate, and that's kind of the thing. But as far as based upon everything that's happened this year and that I've talked about on my channel so far, I have no idea what's going to happen at the end of the 2020s. I haven't got the foggiest idea. This year is literally finally almost over, but 2020 has only just, the 2020s has only just begun. So it's hard to say. I mean, keep in mind, the 1900s didn't really start off with the world's greatest record either, and it ended sort of on a stupid note with Y2K. So it's one of those I don't know situations. That's the best answer I can give. I don't know. If you could create your own Tokusatsu character, what would their powers and abilities be? What gear would they use, and what would they look like? Okay. Probably be something like a cross between Gridman and Ultraman in a way, since it's both kind of the same character, but something like that. Powers would definitely be able to shoot energy projectiles, fly, speed, mode shift, which could give them different abilities based upon the mode. There could be like a beast form, flight form, stuff like that. Gear that they would use: sword, shield, mostly just a sword. Maybe like some external armor, something like what Gridman had with the other parts. As far as what they would look like, I definitely like the way that Gridman's layout was for his character, with the chest plate and the blinking, like circular light here on the head that signified when he's running out of power. That's actually a little better than the Ultraman one with like the chest plate that blinks on a lot of them when they're running low on power. That I find annoying. This is a little more, this is for like a red flag to your opponent, like, hey look, I'm running out of power, finish my ass off, you have the upper hand. Whereas up here it's like, there's a little light blinking up there, but damned if I know what's going on. Maybe he's powering up for an attack. Down here, it's a freaking red, it's a fucking bullseye that just says, come kill me. And the monsters are just always too stupid to realize it. Especially with Ultraman Z, because his is a Z that's like literally right here. Hold on. It's like a Z that's right there. And when it blinks, that's a big fucking bullseye. I'm running out of power. So definitely have something like akin to Gridman, but I'd have like a really good armor plate like around the front, sort of like what the Gold Ranger had and King Ranger from Zeo and O-Ranger. Arm gauntlets, definitely, because, like I said, energy projectiles. Something like a circular gauntlet that kind of like goes on, that could kind of like shoot back as like a fin to make like a defensive weapon if need be. Or could easily like fold out into like a dual-handed shield if you had to. For the legs, simplistic armor, but gauntlets down at the feet just in case you had to reinforce to like stop a heavy attack or to hold like something really heavy or stop something in its place to buy time. So something akin to that. But that would kind of be like my idea. But powers would definitely speed, flight. I would want them to like be able to grow and shrink. Because I know that with Ultraman, at least with Z, because that's the only example I can use right now, he can exist same size as a human, but for a very short amount of time because it takes so much energy. But it'd be kind of cool if they could basically hold that form as like a human first, and then when the like opponent grows to massive size, because it's like, okay, that's it, I can't beat you like this, I'm gonna grow and just squash you under my heel. Then they can just kind of like grow themselves, and then it's like, all right, let's even out the playing field here. So something like that. But yeah, that's about what I would do for a character anyway. What do you remember about your grandfather? A lot. He took me to flea markets when I was a kid. Did a lot of complaining the last few years. So a lot, basically. I don't want to go into too much because I could be here for hours. And unfortunately, I don't think anybody out there wants to be my therapist. Trust me. Leave it at that. But I have some good memories and I have some bad memories. Just leave it at that. Fantasies you had as a kid. I was wanting to be a Power Ranger. That never really happened. Yeah, that's about the only one, I guess. I mean, when I was a kid, I just kind of like daydreamed a lot. I just wanted to watch TV, relax, not do much. So, there was that. But, yeah, fantasy-wise, I didn't really have that many. Just really nothing much. I mean, at least none that I can really remember outside of, I wanted to be a Power Ranger. That was a fantasy I kind of had. But, yeah. I mean, well, no, I had a dream I wanted to be an astronaut, but unfortunately my first grade teacher ruined that. So, yeah. Okay, I remember this question. As I was laughing really hard at it as I was trying to remember. I was trying to... So when I saw this, when I moved this question over for the list here, I actually remembered. I was like, oh god, I'm going to have fun with this one. So what's your favorite episode of the Absolutely Completely Random podcast? I actually had to think about this one because I've done that podcast now for 4 years. So I really had to sit down and think. And the only one that really came to my attention, and long-time fans are going to know this. I know my mom probably will. When did I talk about the Sailor Moon condom? Because that was my favorite topic. As far as like episode, there's like a few of them I've done that I was pretty proud of. The one where I introduced my impression of Professor Klump, I thought was pretty good. It was like episode 5. I did the scary one this past Halloween. I did like really maniacal laughing one where there's like alternate dimension Andrew. The Form Voltron thing was kind of fun, but the podcast where I was dealing with the technical issues after the week before where I had that problem where the topic cut off and I didn't realize it. And it's like, oh yeah, no, I didn't even realize that happened. So then the next week, I'm kind of doing like tech support as I'm doing the podcast. It was kind of fun. I was literally spur of the moment. I'm like, I just wanted to do like an opening skit and an ending one, and it just got away from me. And I'm like, no, I gotta do this more. I was like, no, I can do this. I can do more of this. And it's like I did like a couple more things. Like, sir, are you still on hold? Yeah, I'm still here. I'm still here. And it's like, okay, sir, please continue to hold. Just do that. But that was one of my favorites. But the episode when I talked about the Sailor Moon condom, I think, was one of my favorites. Because that was one of my favorite topics, anyway, that I talked about. Episode-wise, though, probably going to be my customer service one with tech support. But as far as topic-wise episode, Sailor Moon condom wins. Hands down, Sailor Moon condom wins. Nothing I ever do is going to beat that episode ever. Because it was just way too damn funny. It was freaking winking at me. It's that was no way to have have your thing go. But yeah, episode wise, customer service, tech support one. Topic episode wise, Sailor Moon condom. Okay, next question. Okay, here we go. Ever heard of Player of the Attic? Joner Du Grenier, and I do apologize if I mispronounced the name. No, I actually have not heard about. I have not heard of them. So no, I have not heard of them. No idea. So you're 15. Yeah, I have to say the number now, so I'm just getting a little confused. If you could make any YouTuber have the most amount of subs, who would you pick other than yourself? Oh, damn. I'm kind of happy with my 240, was like 241, 242 subscribers. I'd like to have some more, but I can't choose me, which sucks. Uh, there are a couple of them actually. There's one that I think does like a few videos, like one or two a month, that I don't think gets a lot of love and admiration. There are some that I would have picked, but they already hit like 1 million because they got the golden play button and they're happy about it. So good luck for you guys. Congratulations. Off the top of my head, there's like a few, but the problem is they probably have a decent amount more than I do. So if we're talking like I could give the most amount of subs, it would depend really, because like I said, I mostly just check YouTube out for like content and stuff like that. The majority of people are better than I am, so their content proves that. As for me, I have no idea. To be honest with you, like I said, I would have said myself, but I can't say me because I was told other than myself. There's like a lot because there's oh no, all right, I go with this. Zero the First I would give a lot of subs to. He's good. He does like a lot of walkthroughs, playthroughs, let's plays of some games. I actually found his channel, ironically, a while back. I had subscribed to it. I didn't even realize that I had subscribed. I thought, okay, this is pretty cool, and I subscribed, and completely forgot about it. For the longest time, I completely forgot about his channel, and then I'm like, huh. And then all of a sudden, I get this notification that, hey, Zero the First is playing Golden Sun. I'm like, what the hell? And I had to watch that, and then I've just been hooked ever since. So there's that. I know there's one out there. It's called Colonel Ben. It's one of his followers too, one of his subscribers. Does like a lot of Gundam videos. He's pretty good. I do like his videos. I did watch. He did do a I think it was a live stream. I know that, of him playing this really cool adventure game one afternoon. I was watching while I was eating lunch, or no, it was just before I made lunch actually. It actually was pretty cool because like they're on this, people are on an island and they're fighting monsters. And I'm like, this is interesting. I'm like, well, they're on an island. I'm like, well, I would recommend boat, swim. And he goes, oh, no, they can't do that. And he's kind of like explaining it to me because I just kind of like jumped in at this point. And it's like, he's explaining to me how it's like, oh, okay. So no, that wouldn't work. Oh, okay. Okay. So we have to go through all this rigmarole just for them to find, oh, okay. That makes absolutely, no, that makes sense. Okay. Well, that was pretty cool. But he does do like a lot of Gundam videos. Like Gundam Versus he puts up there, pretty cool. There's just like a lot. It would depend on the channel, what I watch. But a good chunk of the videos that I do watch, the channels that I watch, do have a decent amount of subscribers. Some of the smaller ones I think are starting to grow. They're starting to get more. But it also depends upon like a majority of them, if they have the time to put the videos up, if they can get around to getting the time to do the videos. I mean, to do the videos. Because for me, if you notice, I didn't really get a chance to do any like rant videos or discussions lately. I think last week was the last rant video that I had up. I didn't have one up this week because I didn't have a chance to record any. I don't know if I'm going to have a chance to record any yet for next week. That's kind of up in the air. As my work schedule is insane and the shit going on in real life, in my life right now, it's just causing headaches. I'm trying to get as much of my stuff done as I can, but yeah, that kind of makes a difference. But yeah, if I could just make any YouTuber have the most subs other than myself, I would definitely choose either Zero the First or Colonel Ben SP. Probably Zero the First. I'd probably go with him. Okay, here we go. 16. Have you ever played an instrument, and if so, which one? I actually wanted to play the saxophone when I was a kid. I wanted to play the saxophone. It was a well-known piece of knowledge amongst my family. And because I have like a cousin that's really big into music, and it's like, oh, I'll try to find him one. And my uncle was like, well, if we find you a saxophone and you're going to be practicing it every fucking day, But then when I was in fourth grade, we had a chance then, because when you start fourth grade, you're allowed to participate in the band. And the band teacher came down and talked with all of us, talked to like the whole grade, classroom by classroom, um, if we would want to do an instrument or not to take it up. And the one kid in my class goes, well, I want to do the saxophone. It wasn't me, it's another kid. And he goes, I have enough saxophone players to pell around the goddamn world and back again. So I don't need any more saxophone players. And I was just like, you know what, that's fine. I really don't want to practice. I really don't want to do it now. I wanted to play an instrument. I actually have a guitar over there. It's an acoustic guitar. My great aunt got it for me at a yard sale. I actually still have it. It's over there. It is buried. Ironically, not as buried as it used to be. It is over there. It's under, as I can see it from here, it's under one box, my old portfolio that I had to use from work, a mirror, that I had to use for school, not work. I had to use for school, a mirror, and some, basically like packing stuff, like some styrofoam, some foam wrap stuff like that. It's over there. It's an acoustic guitar. It's still in good shape, although I actually want to pull that out, like put it in a garbage bag to keep like any dirt and moisture from getting into it. I keep forgetting to do that though because it just seems so perfect where it's at, and it is mine. But I did practice on that for a little bit because there's a book in there with it that was given to me because I got that for Christmas the one year. It was given to me by I think it was ironically my one cousin gave me the book, and I could not. I even got one of those complete or for dummies, like the Cliff Notes. I still can't play it. I have some guitar picks for it. They're all in that case. It's one case. I can't play it. I honest to God, I can't play it. I can barely make notes. And it's because I never could figure out how to read music. I don't understand where the keys are. I'm not good at like strumming my fingers because as you can see it right here on my hand, I can do like these two fingers, no problem. When I get into these two fingers, I have an issue because my ring finger on my left hand's a little stiff, and this one doesn't kind of like flow in the right direction. So even if I do that, say you touch it, do it like this. I mean, I could try doing it like this, but that's kind of would probably work a little better. But I think it's a right-handed style acoustic. I'm not sure. I'd have to look into it. But it's always I've not gotten rid of it because it's one of those. I feel like I could learn it if I actually sat down and tried. But the other side of the coin was I got that from my great aunt. My grandmother was not happy about it. Go fucking figure. When I was trying to practice with it, she got pissed off because I was making too much noise. It's an instrument. You're going to be lousy until you get better. It's how the world works. So I stopped practicing. I stopped trying. Occasionally I would pull it out and I try. I won't actually lie, though. When I first got it, there was no guitar picks. I was actually either using my fingers, which you can do, but it hurts. You get calluses on your fingers then because it was in the CD that was included in the book. And my mom and I went to Target and we got a bunch of guitar picks. I think it was like $10 for like a pack of 30. And I was using those then. But prior to that, I took a bread tie. So we had like those plastic bread clips. And I was using that. So yeah. But yeah, I have it sitting over there. It is a constant reminder to me. It's still sitting there. My grandfather had got an electric piano for me to practice. That didn't pan out. My grandmother wanted me to practice that the one summer every single day. My mom was like, he's not doing that every single day. Because it was one of those that I could cheat and play. Because the one song in there was the song from Titanic. I could literally sit there and just hit any damn key and it would play the song like it was nothing. And I was like, I could just fake my way through it. I'm like, I'm not even fucking trying because you could cheat this damn thing, and there was no way to prevent that. I did actually buy a keyboard, one that I had actually saw watching 8-Bit Keys, the 8-Bit Guy's other channel. I had actually bought the one because I found it on eBay. I'm like, hey, this is the one he was talking about. I got it. I think I played it for like a week. Put it back up on eBay. Because my hands were too fucking big. The other one that we have is was like a really big one. So that works for that. But this one was like really small. Big hands, really small. It's mostly the size of my hands. I mean, I could probably play the guitar if I try. But it's one of those I would really have to sit down, really try my damnedest. And it's just, I don't feel like it. It's one of those, I have it there as like this is for when I feel like I really want to try to accomplish something, because that's the one thing that I've never actually been able to even try to get done. I've had that thing since I want to say high school. Mom, I know you're listening to this. Comment section, please help everybody. I'm pretty sure it was high school. If not high school, I'm almost sure it was high school. I swear to God it was high school. That I had. I think it was high school. I think it was high school. That I got in that. I think. Don't quote me, but I think. But I know my mom's listening. Mom, go back to the tab, Mom. If you remember, please put in the comments section. That'll answer my question. Thank you. But yeah, no, I don't play a musical instrument. I have tried, but no, I don't play a musical instrument. But I have tried piano and guitar. So, but I did want to play saxophone when I was a kid, but I don't have the patience to even try that. Try the freaking guitar. I'm gonna have to show that one of these days. I actually think I talked about that thing twice. I'm gonna have to take a picture of that and put that up on YouTube. I'll probably do that tomorrow night. I'll take a picture of it, because this isn't gonna go up till Thanksgiving. I'll take a picture of that, and it'll be up like the same time. It's like, here's the guitar that I've mentioned a few dozen times on my videos. This is the guitar. I still have not gotten the hang of this thing. If I know why. It's just, I mean, I tried. And like I said, the dummies, Guitar for Dummies thing actually did help a bit. But it's one of those, I have to sit down, really look at it. I'm an auditory learner. I'm not a, read it and learn it type of person. So pulling up videos on how to do it and having the person, like, really teeny tiny faraway shot of the freaking bridge, you don't know what the hell they're hitting, and then I have to readjust my fingers and try to figure everything out, and that's where my issue lies. But yeah, otherwise, that's still sitting over there. It is, and there's nothing really heavy on top of it. I may always make sure of that. There's nothing heavy on top of it. The mirrors is about the heaviest thing there, and it is literally holding the back end down so it doesn't flop up or slide around. That is it. And that mirror weighs like maybe 3 pounds at best. So it's not going to crush the case. It's not going to crush it. In fact, it's keeping any dirt out of it. But yeah, it's just, that is, I still have on to that yet. I still have that, hoping that I can try to master it one day. Or at least attempt to play it. I can make noise on it, but I can't play it. I can make noise, but that's about it. Right, number 17. If Nintendo, Sony, and Microsoft gave each one of their IPs, which would you pick? Example, Metroid to Sony and Star Fox to Microsoft. Okay. Well, for starters, I would say, well, does Sony have Sega's properties at this point? So I'm kind of thinking that Sony has Sega's properties. I would say give a Sonic to Nintendo. They'll at least treat him right. Sega's been fucking him over since Sonic 06. Oh, hell, wait, when did Sonic Unleashed come out? At least Sonic 06. Sonic 06, definitely. But yeah, Sonic, I would give, if Sony has Sega's properties, I would give Sonic to Nintendo. Nintendo has a couple really shitty stinkers they can get rid of to one of the other ones. Personally, I would give Halo over to Sony from Microsoft. I kind of think Microsoft royally doesn't understand how to handle Halo. Mostly for the fact that they suck at it. And if you really sit down and look at it, Microsoft has not done the world's greatest job with some of the Halo games. I remember this huge thing. My one friend, my buddy Sean, he was so excited to get, I think it was Halo 3 when it came out. And he's going over, he's like, yeah, him and this other kid were going to go over and get it after class. And they literally beat it in like 3 hours. They go home and he beat it in like 3 hours. He was pissed the next day. He goes, goddamn waste of fucking money. I remember him pitching and moaning about that. Like he freaking beat it. But yeah, Sony can take Halo from Microsoft. That's definite. If they have Sonic, if Sony has Sonic, Sony gives Sonic to Nintendo. What the hell can Nintendo get rid of? I mean, I would say Pokemon and give them to somebody else, but that's sort of their only other mascot. I figure out Sony. What could Sony give to Microsoft? Well, no, they only can give one of their IPs. Okay, so I just gotta pick Nintendo. Oh no, one is it one each? Oh yeah, they give each one of their IPs. Okay, so I need to pick. Okay, so it's like two then for each. So they gotta get rid of two each. I kind of like the idea of giving Metroid away because Nintendo's not exactly fond of that. They're not really good at it. That would I would actually say that would probably work for Sony in a way because I kind of feel like the PlayStation would be a much better choice for Metroid. I don't know why, but it does feel like that would be a better choice. I mean, I remember playing, I think it was Metroid, whichever GameCube one had, the one Metroid game. I remember playing that, and I was like, this is weird. It was neat. It was neat. Don't get me wrong, but it just felt weird, playing it. I was like, this feels like really really awkward. Like the controls were weird, the functionality was weird, and I was playing at the time a PS2 yet. I was like, man, it just felt weird playing that Metroid game on a GameCube. So yeah, I would say definitely give Metroid to Sony. I kind of feel like that would work out better for Sony. Uh, I know somebody's gonna tell me I'm sacrilegious here, but I I kind of feel like we should give Yoshi to Microsoft. Look. Don't get me wrong. I know Yoshi's kind of intertwined with Mario, but I would say give Yoshi to Microsoft. Somehow, I feel like that would be the kick in the ass Microsoft would need in a way. Just in my opinion, I kind of feel like that would be the kick in the ass that it kind of needs. For Sony, I already said if they have Sonic, give Sonic to Nintendo. Because I know Sega. I know Sega's the one that owns Sonic, but I don't know if Sony has the rights to it. Like I said, I don't know. If not, I would say okay. If Sony doesn't have the rights for Sonic to give them away, I would say Final Fantasy. Give that to Nintendo. Nintendo would kind of do well with RPGs because Nintendo's all about the whole family-friendly aspect. I mean, piss people off, they screw you over, and they cancel shit. Look at the Big House and look at Smash Brothers for that. But they do RPGs well. They just don't want to admit it because RPGs, especially MMOR ones and even just like virtual reality ones, are always going to bring people together. Especially MMORPGs, they'll always bring people together. But RPGs that kind of have that sort of, fixation in a way could also work out well. But yeah, I would give Final Fantasy to definitely I would give Final Fantasy to Nintendo. What to give? Did I have one for? I know. I know I said Halo to Sony, and did I have another one for? I don't remember anymore. But yeah, I really don't. Holy shit, I don't remember anymore. Man, I'm getting old. I don't even remember what I said like 2 minutes ago, 30 seconds ago. But yeah, I would definitely get rid of like I said, Nintendo's stuff. Give some of that out, like Metroid. I agree. Metroid would work for Sony. Yoshi to Microsoft. I think I did say. I know I said. Because I said Sonic to. And then yeah, okay. Now I remember. Okay, so yeah, Halo would go. Halo, I would say give to Sony. What the hell else did Microsoft have? I mean, the Microsoft doesn't even really have that much stuff. Uh, yeah, they kind of do because most of the games that I'm thinking of are like third-party adaptations, like BioWare and stuff like that. Like you would have Bioshock and all the other ones that you could play on multiple systems. So I really don't know many other IPs that they would have their hands in. Plus, I don't know what Sony has IP wise anymore off the top of my head. Nintendo, Mario, Pokemon, they basically they're not afraid to flex their goddamn lawyer muscle whenever they feel something's threatening them. It's like they have a spider sense for when shit happens. So I don't really know, but yeah, that's about what I could say. I can't really think of any other ones to give out. But definitely those two. I think Yoshi would work really well for Microsoft, and I think that Metroid would work well for Sony. Definitely. I know that, so like I said, if Sony has Sonic, I say give Sonic to Nintendo. If they don't, then I would say Final Fantasy definitely if that's theirs. Otherwise, I haven't got a clue. But yeah, so that's about all I got. As for Microsoft, give Halo to Sony. They do a better job of it than they are. Then they would do a much better job of Halo than Microsoft. I'm sorry, they would. Oh, good. Fire trucks are going out. In case you heard that, they're siren. Thanks a lot, guys. Hold on 1 second, folks. Okay, they're a little further away now. Yeah, if you think that was annoying, imagine that like early in the morning when you're sleeping. That can get loud. They're not actually supposed to do it early in the morning, but sometimes they do. But yeah, so yeah, I don't really have any other ones I could say to give. Like I said, definitely Halo to Sony, uh, Yoshi to Microsoft, Metroid to Sony. I don't even know of one that Sony could give. Okay, well wait, okay, if Sony does have Sonic, then I say give Sonic to Nintendo and Final Fantasy to Microsoft. If they don't have Sonic, then give Final Fantasy to Nintendo. As far as what to give Microsoft from them, I wouldn't freaking know off the top of my head because like I said, I don't know what a lot of their IPs are that they actually have anymore. As far as Nintendo's, you can know hands down because whenever they're threatening, like I said, they will instantly, oh no, you're violating our intellectual property, you're violating our IP, you're basically bending it over backwards and saying, taking it, we're not letting that happen. So, like I said, I don't really know any other, you know, properties. I don't know what any of their IPs are off the top of my head. So there is that. But yeah, at least that's what I have so far. If I think of any, I'll put it in the comments. If not, I'm not really sure. But if I think of any, I'll leave them in the comments. If I think of any others. What is the best case of instant karma you've seen? Instant karma. Well, not exactly instant karma. The best form of karma that I've actually seen. My one supervisor at work. One Friday she laid into me. I mean, royally. She gave me all types of hell. Because she's like that. I'm not, like giving her the respect she deserves. I'm like muddling under my breath behind her back. I'm insulting her to other higher up officials. She was just giving me all sorts of hell. I retaliated with, you treat us like we're dirt. You think you're better than we are. You're just like us. You're no better than we are. We've know what we're doing, you don't know what you're doing. Just because you have experience working in retail doesn't mean you understand how this store works. We do. We worked here longer than you. And her and I were just not getting along. Literally a week later, she got her head chewed off by her boss, which would have been the assistant manager. She got her head chewed off. Actually, well, at that time, she was the acting manager because the store manager was out sick. So technically, she was the acting manager that chewed off my supervisor's head at the time. And I remember that because I was sweeping the floor, and I'm bringing the broom back, and all of a sudden I hear yelling, and I turn right around. I'm like, I think I missed some dirt somewhere. I'm gonna run the broom again, because like I'm not about to go out there and get in the middle of whatever the hell that is. And my buddy Tyler was telling me about it, and I'm like, yeah, I kind of figured, because my supervisor came out. She's over in the one section, and she's crying as she's putting stuff on the shelf. She's crying. So I'm kind of like, that's instant karma, because I was crying then when I got home, because she jumped down my throat and gave me holy hell. I actually didn't even want to go into work. I had to go in that Saturday. I really didn't even want to go in. And she was all set to yell at me again because I was in the back. The door, the roll door was open, and I'm taking the trash out. Unbeknownst to her, the acting manager's there. She's the one that let me in, and she's the one that opened up the door and asked me to take the trash out after I clocked in. It's like, okay, not a problem. And I was telling her I really didn't even want to come in today. I said because, she was, because of what happened yesterday, so she's really giving me a hard time. She goes, if anything like that happens again, you just let me know. And, well, I don't have to worry about it now anymore because that supervisor isn't there anymore. But that was about the best instant karma, but it wasn't instant, like a week later instant. I don't really think I've ever actually seen instant karma. At least not to my knowledge, I don't think I've seen instant karma. So, yeah, I can't really give an instant karma, but that's the best answer for karma I can give that I've seen. When what goes around comes around. Karma's a bitch. Oh, is karma a bitch? All right. Final question. Do you think 2021 will be better than 2020, and why? I don't know. Look, I know that there are already a couple conventions in that have been canceled for 2021. There are a few, I want to say, events that have been postponed again because of the ongoing, shit that's going on. So I can't really say as I finish this up here quick. 1 second. But yeah, I really can't say whether or not. There we go. I really don't know if 2021 is gonna be any better than 2020 was, because keep in mind 2020. I don't think we ever thought it was gonna get this bad. Personally, like I said, I was all right with when everything got shut down because we were all in the same boat together. We were all brought down to the same peg, and for me, that kind of made me feel like, you know what. This proves that, we're all right here on the same peg. Let's all try to work together and move back up the rung together. But, of course, we had people, and I can vouch for a lot of them around me that were like, oh, no, we want to do this stuff now. Oh, no, we're going, this has to end now, and blah, blah. And they were just getting pissed off because they were blaming my generation for being lazy. They were blaming my generation for this and that. They're like, oh, it's your generation's fault that we're in this mess, and they just started taking it out on me because they didn't want to admit anything. So that was where I started not caring anymore about 2020, to be honest with you. Personally, I think 2021, it couldn't get worse. I don't think than 2020's been. 2020 was a shit show at this point. I mean, we lost a lot of celebrities this year. Sadly, Betty White's still here. I'm sorry, I'm not a fan of Betty White. But we lost a lot of celebrities this year, including, we lost God, what the hell was his name? The one that did Black Panther, Chadwick Boseman, I think. We lost him. We lost Sean Connery. Alex Trebek died. We lost so many other. Charles Daniels died. We lost the original voice actor for the Ocean dub of Dragon Ball Z, Kirby Morrow. He passed away. We lost a lot of celebrities this year, so there was that. There was a lot of death. And the thing is, 2021, unless a meteorite's going to strike the Earth or impending invasion from aliens or the mole people finally come out of the ground and zombies walk among us, I don't think 2021 could get any worse than what 2020 was. But again, like I said earlier, only time will tell. Nothing is set in stone. And that's the main point. Time is constantly in flux. Think of the tree. Just think of the tree. And you'll understand what I mean. But yeah, it's just, yeah. But that's the final question that I have for this month's Q&A. Let's see when... I know I got to figure out a different way to put this, because I know you can't see my thing when I turn, but let me see here. Like I said, I don't know how everything's going to be going on with me yet going forward, but well, alright, I know I'll have Christmas off. I'll have to. Let's shoot for the 21st. Tentatively. I'll put up if something changes. Tentatively. Shoot for the 21st of December for the next deadline. I'll try to put them up the video on Christmas Day, believe it or not, if I get a chance to. I should be able to. It should go up Christmas Day. So, yeah, that's about what it's going to be. So thank you all, like I said, for tuning in. It's been like an hour 16 minutes. Holy shit, man! I can really talk if I try hard enough, huh? Wow, I can really talk. Holy shit! All right, thank you all for tuning into the absolutely completely random podcast every week. Thank you for tuning in for the Q&A video. Thank you for subscribing. Thanks for watching Andrew Rants, Andrew Discusses, all my videos. Thanks so much, guys. Everybody out there, thank you. Hopefully things will improve. I do have a lot of ideas that I want to work on going forward, but like I said, with everything going on right now with me, it is kind of making it a little more difficult than I want to admit to quote the devil here, get stuff done. So there is that problem that I have to worry about, but yeah, that's where I'm standing at. I'll probably do a video at some point explaining it, but yeah. Otherwise, like I said, thank you all for tuning in for this Q&A video this month. Thanks for subscribing, and until next time, I'm Andrew Rhodes. This has been the Web Designer 18 YouTube channel. Ring the bell notification, subscribe, thumbs up, thumbs down. Check out my other videos. Might be something here you might like. I ran about SpongeBob. I ran about a lot of stuff. I discussed things. I reviewed some stuff. Check it out. But yeah, catch you all later. Bye.